Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the CD guy, Johnny Z here. Thanks so much for tuning back into the channel, and today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the new Rolling Stones single under the name The Cockroaches, entitled Rough and Twisted. So, the Rolling Stones led fans on a bit of a wild goose chase yesterday in pursuit of the new vinyl exclusive single, Rough and Twisted, under the Cockroaches moniker. And to say that the distribution of this single was frustrating would, be an understatement, but most record stores in select locations only got up to 6 to 10 copies, and a lot of people were turned away at the door. I live in the New York area. I thought maybe about going down to the city where Rough Trade Records were listed in the coordinates on the band's site, but in hindsight, I'm glad that I didn't. Apparently, they only got 3 copies down there, and Poughkeepsie only received 6 as well, so that's 9 for the whole state. Needless to say, I was not one of the lucky ones to pick up a copy of the new song, but now, some 24 hours later, the song has been leaked online, and look, for obvious reasons, I cannot play the song for you on the channel, nor do I want to get in trouble for distributing links to copyrighted music, but it's pretty easy to find on the band's Reddit page and on a bunch of message groups as well. And, I gave the vinyl rip a listen and compared it to the teaser that was put up on the band's site to make sure it was the same song, and surely enough, it was. So, we always find a way on this channel, so better late than never. I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys on the new Stones single, Rough and Twisted, so let's dive in. To be honest, this whole thing feels like a bit of a red herring. We'll probably get a proper single released in the next few days, along with an album announcement, possibly the rumored single Mr. Charm, but this is the first taste of new music we've had from the Rolling Stones since 2023's Hackney Diamonds, and the album is rumored to be titled Foreign Tongues, and was supposedly recorded around the same time as Hackney Diamonds, once again produced by Andrew Watt. Rough and Twisted will apparently be a part of this record, so, how does it sound? I know longtime fans of the Rolling Stones were not entirely sold on Andrew Watt's production style on Hackney Diamonds, but personally, I thought he did an excellent job bringing out, the best out of the guys, and I think Hackney Diamonds was their best album since, Steel Wheels, at least, as far as I'm concerned. So, what really stands out here on this new track from what I heard, and of course, I listened to the vinyl rip, right? So obviously I'm not, listening to it in great quality, but just what we have, what really stood out was the balance. Despite Watt's tendency to polish recordings, this track really retained kind of a welcome rawness to it that gave it kind of a gritty, authentic feel, and there's a nasty, infectious groove running throughout. It's rooted deeply. This whole song is in blues influences, which is something that the Stones, or should I say the Cockroaches, have always worn on their sleeve. The instrumentation kind of reinforces that classic vibe. Love the addition of the harmonica here, which gives that strong blues texture, and Keith Richards' guitar work is, super sharp and full of character, and, even from the vinyl rip that I heard, the performance comes through clearly. Drums sound super powerful, presumably from Steve Jordan. I don't think Charlie Watts did, any recording for this upcoming record, despite it being recorded around the same time as Hackney Diamonds was, and, vocally, Mick Jagger is in great form. His delivery feels energetic, it still feels youthful and powerful as well, so he sounds fantastic in my opinion. And another highlight is the songwriting itself, particularly the way the chord progression shifts in the chorus, and it's, subtle but effective changes like that kind of keeps the track interesting and engaging throughout. If you were one of the lucky few who were able to secure a copy of the single, I envy you, but, for now, listening to the leaked vinyl rip will have to do, and hopefully this track gets an official streaming release, so I can really immerse myself in the mix and compare dynamics to Hackney Diamonds, but judging from first impressions, if this track is what we can expect from the next and possibly final Rolling Stones album, then it's great to hear the band leaning back so heavily into a blues influence, and, to my ears, Rough and Twisted captures a really compelling blend of kind of their classic blues-driven sound and, a more modern, muddy edge, almost like a warmer hybrid between Hackney Diamonds and Blue and Lonesome, and so I dig it quite a bit, cannot wait to hear more. So that wraps up this brief review here of the new Rolling Stones mystery single, Rough and Twisted, released under the name The Cockroaches, and yeah, pretty hard to find now, 24 hours later. Not super hard to find online, even though I wouldn't recommend looking on YouTube because the Stones are just, copyright striking anybody who rips it and puts it on YouTube. But there are links out there all over Reddit and stuff like that, so definitely check it out if you're able to find it. Shouldn't be that hard to come across, but wanted to share my thoughts on this single here. I really enjoy it and cannot wait for the new Stones record. But, next time the Stones release a single, hopefully it's, more widely accessible. And, you can definitely stay tuned to the channel here for all updates regarding the new Stones records, singles, album announcements, stuff like that. Stay tuned. I will be talking about all of it as it comes out. And of course, I'll be reviewing the record eventually on the channel here, whatever that release date may be. Follow me on Instagram at the CD Guy JZ. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, turn on the bell for notifications so you don't miss a new upload, and let me know down in the comment section below if you heard the song. What are your thoughts on Rough and Twisted? Maybe you went down to the record store and tried to secure a copy. What was your experience doing that? And even if you haven't heard the single yet, what are your expectations going into this album to follow up Hackney Diamonds? I want to hear from you, so let me know all that good stuff down in the comment section below. And until next time, it's the CD Guy, Johnny Z, signing off. Take care, everybody.